First of all, thank you so much for joining this interactive session in terms of Red Hat OpenShift on AWS Cloud, which is uh, which is ROSA, AWS ROSA service. So my name is Faisal Iqbal. I am the head of operations at TecBrix Cloud. So today we will be talking to you about Red Hat OpenShift service on AWS, which is commonly known as ROSA. So I will quickly start. So just at at this moment, TecBrix is a cloud consultancy firm, and we are part of the company. In terms of we are doing support services and many services in terms of AWS, Azure, GCP, and OpenShift, and even on-premise as well. So uh, I'm not sure, how many people of you knows about the Docker. So I will start this whole session from the basics because I really want all the members they should have a clear knowledge in terms of where to start and how to start. So in terms of Docker is a platform that enables developers to create, deploy, and manage applications in lightweight, portable containers. So it means, so with the Docker technology, when it really came up, so it's mainly with for the developers who really want to, accelerate their day-to-day operations in terms of application development. It's for the easy deployment process and also to manage quickly because it's very lightweight and also to control the dependency in terms of the VMs. Also, in case if we go next with the Docker, so it will also have packages on applications, easy packaging on applications and dependencies together to ensure consistency across multiple environments. So with the Docker, what we can achieve multiple environments will have a same kind of binaries where you can ship in terms of the Docker image and deploy in terms of the business. So at the end of the day, when the Docker came up, so all the developers in terms of who are dealing with any kind of a technology in terms of AWS, in terms of Node.js or even PHP, Python, Ruby, or maybe Java. So they all are very much, comfortable and happier. Why? Because whenever they have to sync or to replicate the same environment which is running over the cloud, so it was very much easier for them to replicate on the on-premises or on their VMs. Even with the Docker, so what we can do, we can create containers. As I said, container is a lightweight, portable element where we package all the binaries and all of our source code, and we compress them, and then we can push them into a ECR or maybe other registries available on premises or even or the cloud or on your system. Then we will come up on the portability side. So because why it's portable and it's a very good feature of Docker where whatever the containers you created during the build time, or you can say on a very first day when you run the Docker build command, it will build a one small container, right? Image, and that image you can use in any of the platform. If you are using Linux, if you are using Mac OS, or if you are using Windows, so that container will always be run in the other platform. So next is the lightweight. It's another feature of Docker where containers share the host system kernel, which makes them much lighter than traditional virtual machines. So you can think of in earlier days whenever we have to deploy any kind of VM, uh, then we need a complete EC2 machine or maybe one server in case if we're talking about any of the cloud or in terms of any of the on-prem server. So we need a server to deploy our application. First, we need a host OS, and then on top of it, we install all the binaries, packaging, packages, and then along with that, we also install all of the required dependencies in terms of the programming language. Let's suppose Python or maybe Ruby, maybe Java. But here, what is happening? So we only because the host kernel system is same, so we only use the binaries which are required to ship our container to in form of an image, and which can be run in any of the platform. Apart from that, the Docker is also isolated technology. Like in each Docker container which runs in its own isolated environment, actually it will improve the security and it will prevent the conflicts between the different applications. In case if you're talking about the scalability part, so Docker support easy scalable of applications. Why it means with the help of scalability, we can spin up multiple instances of a container to handle increased load. So you can think of, Docker is a technology which helps actually the application developers who really struggle to uh, to find out a solution where they can sync between the production environment and the local environment. So and that local environment can be their local machines or maybe any of the another environment which they can think of. In terms of the easy deployments, so even when we are doing any kind of a deployments in terms of the Docker, so it simplifies the deployment process as well. So I will not go much deeper on the Docker. So I will just, share a couple of, key features and key elements in terms of Docker, because Docker is a technology which will help to create the containers, and containers are based on the code which application developer they created, and they love to ship that code quickly. And then I will move on the next slide. So with the help of Docker, what we can achieve and what we can't achieve. Yeah, we can scale up our application, but on a some certain level. But whenever we talk about in terms of run any kind of a production load, so then Docker is not a suitable technology for us. Why? Because it will not help to load balance in terms of easy load balance in terms of the multiple containers. Also, in terms of the resource monitoring and logging is very much hard in terms of the and also to secure the Docker container is also a very big challenge, including to check to check the application health and also to updates with the rolling updates. It's also having not those features. So at this time, we have another option or another technology which everyone or most of the people they heard about this technology, Kubernetes, which will help to automate or which will help to scale our application uh, based on our needs, and which will help to monitor and distribute our application based on the number of use case number of requests. So I will just go to next. Uh, yeah. So with the Kubernetes, the matter is because it's an open source, so we really need something, like we can achieve or we can install Kubernetes platform in any of the environment. But on the other side, whenever we talk about the enterprise support, or whenever we talk about the additional layer, like who will manage the open source technology in terms of the Kubernetes, then we have the OpenShift. So in case if you come up with the OpenShift, I will not go deeper on in terms of the Kubernetes, because this is something we can cover up with the OpenShift. And at the end of the day, our understanding should be to cover up the ROSA, which is AWS offering on the AWS cloud. So in terms of the OpenShift, it is enterprise grade Kubernetes. So you can think of it's not like a, something. It's a reinvention of the wheel. Uh, it's it's something like a additional layer, enterprise layer on top of OpenShift, which will help to build on Kubernetes, providing all the core features of Kubernetes along with the additional enterprise level capabilities. So, so with the OpenShift, so many of people, they are somewhere, they are scared about, like they know Kubernetes, maybe they are not much familiar with the OpenShift. The matter is, you can think of, based on my personal experience, around 70% of the conceptual part belongs to the in the OpenShift, or belongs to the Kubernetes, because it's the technology which is built on top of OpenShift. Next, we will come up with there is another feature in terms of OpenShift, which is the automated CI/CD pipelines. So with the OpenShift, what we can do, we can create some kind of CI/CD pipelines uh, to deploy and ship our microservice based containers very quickly. We can also deploy the OpenShift on premises, over the cloud, and even the multi-cloud, even the hybrid cloud capabilities. So all of those things helps us to take a decision, like which way we want to go. Also, whenever we will start doing any kind of a cluster upgrade, so in case if we are going with the any kind of vanilla Kubernetes, then it's a very difficult for us, to fix those problems. But because we have the Red Hat support also available in terms of OpenShift offering, so we can also engage them, whenever there is any problem or issue came. On top of it, security and compliance is another very, very big problem. Whenever we are talking about the enterprise customers. So let's suppose if you are going to any of the bank. So most of the banks, they, like, as per the compliance, banks will never use any kind of open source software. So what normally they will do, they need the enterprise level support always available, and also enterprise level of software, the tooling they always prefer to. So as per the requirements, OpenShift can be like one of the very good option in terms of to deploy or manage the resources on premises all over the cloud. Those resources can be based on the container where I started initially from the Docker. In terms of networking storage, I'm not going in depth that one, because again, this whole activity is not based on the OpenShift. This activity is based on the OpenShift offering, which is the ROSA. I will go next. So, in terms of uh, like in couple of years back, AWS and OpenShift, they jointly created a one service which is called the AWS ROSA. So let's suppose if today you go and you subscribe yourself with the OpenShift with the ROSA offering. So first you have to subscribe with that offer. So subscriptions means you are going to create a contract with the both the parties. One is with the AWS and one with the OpenShift. Why the subscription is there? Because it helps to engage the customer very quickly and understand and provide the best outcome in terms of dealing with the with their solutioning. In terms of the other offering, like let's suppose if you are going standalone OpenShift, what you will do? The process is simple but a little bit difficult as well, because you need to calculate the vCores, or the number of vCPUs or the subscriptions, right? In terms of the OpenShift. But in when you go OpenShift offering on the AWS cloud, then you have to subscribe. That subscription is like a contract between you and the OpenShift along with the AWS. So, so with this one, many people they wants to understand, the ROSA, because ROSA is something, a name which is somehow famous, but not but is also having many complexities. And those complexities are not part of the ROSA actually. It is something, people not even tried for it. Let me tell you how. First of all, I will try to define the ROSA, and then I will go in details what ROSA capabilities are, and on the other side, with the help of ROSA, right, what you can achieve, and how we at TecBrix we can help you in terms of to create a to define your business processes in a better way. It is and Okay, so I will start from the ROSA first. So it's a Red Hat OpenShift service on AWS, which is known as ROSA, right? So it's a fully managed application platform that allows to focus on what matters the most, which is delivering value to the customer by building and deploying their applications. So what it means by, so with the help of AWS ROSA, you only, it's like to start with the AWS ROSA, you don't have to go in a very complex system. You only have to, it's just like a, 4 steps process, where first you have to create a contract. As I said earlier, the first engagement is a handshake between a customer and with the AWS along with the Red Hat. And second thing is the to start creating that one, to define a one IAM user, and then start creating the cluster, and that's it. And once you will have it, it will be like easy going stuff. I will go next, when I will focus on, what you have to do, and what, as part of the AWS, what ROSA or AWS along with the Red Hat, they will offer along with this, AWS ROSA offering. So, what the key features are, like seamless integration with AWS technologies. This is also very important. On the right hand side, if you see what else we need a one small VPC, okay, and also two subnets, one public, one private, and along with that some couple of things, and that will, and most of the things it will be created during the setup. So you do not have to go and behind the scene to start creating all of those features, right? So again, I'm not saying, you have to do alone at first journey. So we at TechBricks, we will support you in terms of, how to take this journey together. So in terms of the next, which is the scalability and high availability, is also very much possible. Along with the, we can leverage AWS auto scaling to automatically adjust the number of OpenShift nodes based on the workloads on demand. We can also, automate the whole process in terms of, let's suppose via the CloudFormation or via the Terraform. So automation is also possible, and is very much there. So in case if you or your company is having some kind of, IAC, like infrastructure as a code setup already there, so you can also include ROSA provider. It's a very easy process. Again, we are there for your support. So in that one, what we will do, we have to only create the provider, and we have to call the Terraform APIs to create the AWS ROSA cluster for you. Uh, Next is the security and compliance. So with the help of AWS IAM and KMS, we can leverage these two services. IAM is for the identity, and this is very much possible to integrate OpenShift with AWS IAM. And then we have a KMS, which is the key management service. It will help the data encryption in transit, enhancing the security for your sensitive data. So you can also monitor and log whatever, the logs are coming in terms of your, OpenShift, with the help of integration with the AWS CloudWatch for monitoring purpose. And also you can also, take those logs for the analysis with the help of, Prometheus and Grafana. These are the advanced matrices, monitoring and visualization with with the OpenShift. Again, I said, on the right hand side, it's a single AZ simple environment. Like whenever we start doing any kind of POC with the customer, so we do a single AZ environment, because so that, the customer will be aware of, how the whole system will work. But on the other side, in any of the production grade setup, we preferred always, and our recommendation go with the multi-AZ structure, or the diagram, which we will share, whenever it will be required. So currently we are focusing on the ROSA side. In terms of storage, AWS, EBS, and EFS, and even the S3, all these three services we can also integrate with that one. And interestingly, which is, very much, you will be surprised of. So I personally, I dealt with many of the, on-premises setup with multiple banks inside UAE and even outside of UAE. And what, based on my experience, taking any subscription, if setting up anything on premises is always, some people are saying, it's not costly. But after reviewing the AWS ROSA and its capabilities, and its easiness, I would say, the cost is very much less. What I will tell you when I will go to the next slides. So yeah. So also recently, AWS along with the ROSA. So there is another uh, you know they release another hosted control planes offering. Earlier they launched the classical offering where control planes are backed by API server, but now control planes are the components of the cluster, such as API server, etcd, etc. So with the HCP, it will help to improve your performance and cost reduction, because less workloads are there in terms of to managing the ones, right? And it's also available in most of the regions. uh, After checking with the after availability of the HCP, uh, I would say we will definitely need to have a look, because with the HCP or hosted control planes, you can plan your activity along with the improved performance and along with the multi-tier architecture with the reduction of the cost. What it matters at the end of the day, it matters high performance solutioning, and also in terms of the budgetary elements, we also have the cost reduction. So I will come up on the cost reduction a bit next. So we have this offering, guys. So with which is a hosted control plane available, and at the moment I'm not sure like if it is available inside UAE region, but yes, we can try it out in another region, and if possible, we can have one POC. I will go how to apply for a POC with the TecBrix Cloud, but on the in the next slide. So the next is the shared responsibility model. This is, as I said earlier, uh, with the help of ROSA, we are very much, now in a situation where we even the developer, they can control or manage their AWS environment with the ROSA. Why I'm saying like this, because the customer or your developer, they only have to take care a couple of key things. Application lifecycle, definitely, starting from containers, starting from the deployment, starting from the scaling, starting from the release pipelines, they have to take care, and which they are taking care most of the times. But in the enterprise side, we have a pipeline engineers and other SREs as well. But here, most of the SRE's job, which is cluster creation, cluster management, monitoring, logging, networking, and security updates, and even when the all these features are part of the Red Hat SRE. So what mean by SRE? Red Hat SRE. So as I said, whenever you created and whenever you subscribe AWS ROSA in the first go, you will create a contract with the AWS and with the Red Hat. That contract means you are going to start using their service, which is their offering, and you will have a two different, consoles. One is the Red Hat console, and second is the AWS console. So whenever you start facing problems, you can create a support ticket, and both of them are part of the ROSA. In terms of the what you have to do, you have to manage your projects, again with the help of Kubernetes quotas and definitions. You have to manage your quotas, you have to control your application, and rest most of the SRE's job will be done by the Red Hat and the AWS, definitely. So, and also the platform support. So support is available via the AWS portal and the Red Hat support as well. So, all these features are part of the ROSA. So in case if you want to try it out, it's very easy, it's very simple process, and in case if you want to book any kind of, uh, you know, setup, how to set up a ROSA, and we will definitely, like I will set up a like we will set up a one implementation session as well. So I will go next. So in terms of pricing, so as I said, earlier, so the pricing is very much, attractive in case if you go with the ROSA. So there are two angles, which, I'm not sure, how many of you tried OpenShift on premises. So whenever you go with the on-premises environment, so I would say there are only two factors where you have to think about the OpenShift cost. One is the infra cost, and second is the subscription cost. Subscription is based on the vCores, which is you have to purchase from a local vendor or a local distributor from the Red Hat, and you can't go directly some cases, but yes, some in some cases definitely you can go. But on the other side, in terms of the ROSA, so we have two angles. One is a subscription, which is a contract, which is again, is a subscription, and and second is the infra cost. Infra, again, the CPUs are the EC2 machines which you are running as part of the worker nodes. So here with the ROSA, so if you see on-demand pricing is $1,500 per year for 4 weeks. And in case if you go with the 1 year, 3 year contracts, right? So then the cost even reduced to 33% to 55%. So these things are not available. You can even try it out with the help of the distributor or with the local vendor. But on the other side, it's not easy. It's not easy to get around 55% cost reduction. Uh, then in case if I go to the reduce the cost, imagine today and tomorrow you plan the activity where you said, yeah, you are running OpenShift environment on your own premises, and but you really want to try it out, like how the RODA will support you. So in that journey, first of all, and the costing is one of the biggest problem, because more and more vCores you go on premises, more your subscription will keep expanding indefinitely. So in that case, AWS helps you a lot in a couple of ways, and also your partner, he will also, like us, we will also you can also leverage any of your partner like us, how to reduce your cost. So I list down a couple of elements, which really helps you out. First is the reserve instance. So in case if you can plan the reserve instance from 33% to 55% in my last slide, in case if you see here, right? So second is the saving plan. So you do a commitment with the AWS for a yearly commitment for 1 year, 3 year, and based on your commitment, you can also get us nice discounts from the AWS. Then we have a EDP, which is the enterprise grade discount program. It's called the EDP. How that will work? So you have to it's a AWS program where you have to commit a certain amount and usage, and then based on that program you can ask some kind of discounts uh, along with your partner, and then you have a spot instance. So for the dev environments, in case if you want to try it out, like sometimes if any of a customer, right, even me and my colleague, we deploy ROSA in one of the account, and where the customer, he was a little bit concerned about their cost, right? So with the help of spot instances, we tried out with the Morse auto scaling mechanism, and where we reduce their cost even further, not even 50%, it's around 70%. And next is you can also control the cost with the Red Hat Cost Management Service, which is a service where you can see uh, your cost based on based on your application, based on how much quotas you have to deploy, have you allocated to your applications, based on the number of namespaces. So all those things you can also see all of those things in the Red Hat Cost Management, and it's available. So based on the first step, which is the subscription to the contract which you are going to make with the Red Hat and AWS, so you will receive that Red Hat Cost Management Service console, where you can see all of those costs, and you can also after reviewing multiple categories of those costs, let's suppose based on the projects, based on the namespaces, or based on the actual cluster cost, you can plan your cost well. And also with the help of TecBrix, we have the power and a strong partnership with the AWS, where we are offering AWS private offers. So private offers is a very tricky and very key, very less companies are doing inside multiple regions. So we are one of them. So how that will work? Let's suppose today, if you are running any kind of workload on premises, or if you are doing any kind of workload or on the AWS already, right? So you can say you have existing cluster, or if you have a new cluster. In both the cases, we have leverage to help you out to create a private offer where the fundamentals are, first we have to evaluate how long you how many instance types you required, how your resource consumptions are going on, and how much commitment you want to make. And based on those different findings, we have protocols where where we can run through. And then after that one, we will submit your offer to the AWS, where you will get a certain discounts, and those discounts are not uh, are, are are d- are are not part of the above discounts. Let's suppose the reserve instance, saving plans, EDP, spot instances are using HCP, or maybe use a Red Hat cost management. All those are part of your infra cost, or you can say you are reducing the cost based on the infra. But as I said, in terms of the subscription cost, so there we are there via the private offers with the AWS cloud. So this is very much guys there. So you can just drop a message to us, and we will be there to reduce your cost. So as I said, AWS was the private offer with TecBrix. This just is a very important concept that I also want to share with you. So with it, so CPPO is a program name. In case if you see in my first note, so AWS CPPO partner, we are the partner. So we are providing you the private offer via AWS Marketplace. So whatever the VMs you are creating, even from the, let's suppose, FortiGate, F5, any of the VM, you are creating those VM via the marketplace, and this marketplace concept is there in all the other clouds. So what are the key things we have to take? We have to define the contract terms and also custom pricing. So this is something, we have to understand your payment terms. You have to understand, let's suppose you will do the upfront payment, or full payment, partial payments. And also we have to, and after that one, we will submit a one form which you have to fill in, and that form we will submit to the AWS, where AWS will create a one private offer under the marketplace. And the concept is that to provide more discounts to the customer via the partners, because we are the partner, we are the advanced consulting partner of AWS. So with the help of the partners, we can share more discounts to the customers. So this concept is very much there, guys. So in case if you are running not only AWS ROSA, so I just want to add here, if you are running any of the enterprise tooling, maybe Splunk, maybe AWS, maybe FortiGate, or any of the Fortinet, or maybe F5 tooling, or maybe if you are running any kind of semantic software, or maybe Trend Micros, like, and you just name it. So just have a look at your inventory inside your AWS cloud, and just drop a message. If you are using even on premises, we will even further work on the discounts, and we will also help you out. So this is there for us. Then it's again part of that share responsibility model, because as I said, what AWS will do, and what Red Hat will do. So with this whole offering with the AWS ROSA, so it's a self-service. Most of the services are built and managed by the Red Hat. Again, you do not have to worry those parts. This is all the time up and running. It's a commitment and it's a subscription. That is why AWS is charging you. On the other side, what you only have to manage, you have to manage your environment along with your EC2 machines, your auto scaling, your logging, monitoring. Those things you have to take care, and those are very much manageable and very easy to manage. Yeah. So the next thing is the how to start. So it's a very easy going, guys. So drop us a message for a free POC. We are there for your support. And how it will work, you only have to reach out to us, drop a message to us or via email. What we will do, we will work on the free POC concept, where, as you know, AWS ROSA, so you have to pay two different pricings. One is the subscription cost, and second is the infra cost. So we will work as a partner. As I said, we are the AWS Advanced Consulting partner, so we will work both the costs with the where you do not have to even invest a single dollar. With that one, like we will use our partnership program, where we will submit, all the defined kind of use cases which we will do along with your teams, and we will submit those use cases to the AWS. And once that will be approved, and most probably it will be approved all the times, because AWS also wants to engage more and more customers on AWS ROSA. You can reach out to us if you have an existing ROSA cluster, or if you are planning to create a new production leverage cluster on the AWS cloud. So what we can do, we can help you out to reduce your further cost. Uh, all the above, these things, like let's suppose reserve instance, saving plan, and others, even including the EDP program, and including with this cost control via Red Hat cost management, all these things are part of this as part of the your infra parts. But in terms of the ROSA private offer, it will help you to reduce your subscription cost. How to do that one is very simple. You only have to reach out to us. We have to define a couple of key things. We have a matrix ready, a small template where you have to fill the data. And once you will fill the data, it's just like, you have to tell us, how much period you want to run the ROSA cluster, and what are the different, payment terms you want to. So there are a couple of payment terms available, like upfront, maybe partial payments, or maybe, monthly. And also, y- and after that form submission, we will create a one discounted private offer for the new cluster and for the existing cluster. So it is already available. Again, this is something, what AWS OpenShift is, what Red Hat OpenShift will taking care behind the scene. And in terms of the AWS infrastructure, what you have to manage your infra, like auto scaling. You have to manage your CloudWatch. You have to manage your all the AWS categories, but not, this Red Hat OpenShift core features. So all those things will be taken care by the Red Hat. So what's next? So how to start? I do recommend, at this stage, you should, start looking into the AWS ROSA. If you are working in any of the enterprise customer, like any bank, any insurance company, any telecom industry, or even in the governments. So how it's a very easy process. So what you have to do, you have to submit one request for a free POC, and we do work with the AWS and with the Red Hat to provide a $0 investment. What it means, as I said, there are two costs: infra cost and the subscription cost of the ROSA. So both the costs we will try it out free. With the subscription cost, yes, it will be there directly from the AWS, but on the other side, in terms of the AWS resources cost, there we have to work on it in terms of the free this uh, uh, free this like some free offering for you. So you can say, those so AWS, they will give you around $500, or maybe 1,000, or maybe $5,000 for the testing purpose. So you do not have to fund a lot, or fund anything. It's just like, you only have to do some investment in terms of, engaging your teams to work with us, and we will try to, make that POC successful, and based on your business needs. And after the and just be mindful, that POC will not should not go more than 30 days. So please, do ping us in terms of, free POC, and and we will do the submission of your documents to the AWS, and there is no commitment. So do not think of, like, in case if you submit any kind of a POC submission to us, so you have to pay anything, or you have to do any kind of commitment. It's just like a one proof of concept. where if that will meet the customer requirement, which is yours requirement, then it we will move towards the to spin up any kind of production workload. But there is no but you do not have to commit anything in terms of that one. In terms of the different services which AWS is which OpenShift will taking care, this is like something I'm trying to show. And these are the guys AWS technologies or AWS services which you can integrate along with the AWS ROSA. So all these services, in case if you're spinning up any services at this time, or if you're planning to migrate any kind of workload from on-premises to cloud, and if you are in the duration of the phase where you want to migrate something to the cloud, or maybe you want to test it out, any kind of uh, Kubernetes or maybe non-Kubernetes based application, please drop a message to us, because we have the capabilities to translate or transform your monolithic application towards the microservices, and from there we will help you, and we will also engage your team uh, to make a to ship your application, transform your application towards the ROSA cluster. So all those technologies are there, guys. Just drop a message to us. And again, thank you so much. And I'm hoping this presentation helps a couple of key concepts for you. Thank you.